Hello Scorpio, this is Natasha from Sapphire Sky Tarot. We've already pulled 4 cards to start, so let's get into it. It's interesting because all these cards here are giving me the energy that of self-isolation or self-sabotage, the sense of loneliness or feeling alone. Hermit card usually does that, but it's interesting that all 4 cards have kind of given that idea. And it's interesting because I feel like the cards are almost backwards for you. These 10 of Swords really does signify the end of a cycle. And you've had enough of the burden. You're ready to shed the burden. When we come here to the Two of Swords, it's interesting because it's a relatively balanced card, but the only thing about this card is you're the thing that's askew, you're the thing that's off balance, but you're not that far off of where center is, which is really great. And if you look at this card here, you're quite centered. And the thing with all these cards is there's different kinds of tumultuous, I guess, states of being would probably be the best way of putting it. Each thing is being cut off from the world in a different way. So this one here is, if you look at the 9 of Wands, you have the card, like you've built yourself this safe haven. If you look at the 2 of Swords, you're almost ready to fight, but you're blind to the things that you're fighting for. The 10 of Swords is just being weighed down by the things that are around you and unable to process those things. And then you look at the Hermit card, and the Hermit card is, you know, the entirement of this feeling. The Hermit card really does have a wisdom to it though, right? So if we're coming out of a cycle, you're going to see some of the wisdom of having been in some of these scenarios. So I have a couple other cards here. So we have the 8 of Cups. We have the Sun. And the 6 of Cups. So this is really interesting because this is, I wouldn't say quite the opposite, but you're coming from a place of potentially self-sabotage, potentially self-isolation, maybe a hard time having had to put yourself first by pulling yourself away from people. Whatever it is for you, you're moving into this place of decision. You're now choosing the things that make your heart sing. You're now choosing to look past the things. You take the things that you've learned and you've decided to turn around and look at all the new things that are coming towards you. It's a whole new journey. It could be a long journey, and it could be one with some really beautiful gifts at the end of it. And if you look at the Sun and the 6 of Cups, is you're going to be surrounded by this wonderful energy. It's the energy that's coming in for you. It has shifted quite a bit from what you're coming from. And I think that there's going to be this really great, there's going to be a new relationship with somebody who's going to be, could be somebody young or somebody young of heart, somebody who really wants the best of the world, who really makes the world sing for themselves. They're the light of other people's lives. They really inspire other people. And I think whoever this person is going to be very inspiring for you. All right. So we have the Page here of Water. And the Justice card. So the Page of Water is a little bit of the tread lightly card. A little bit of the, you're in the middle of a transformation. And whatever this transformation is for you, it can feel a little heavy. So we want to make sure that we're still taking care of the self. So whenever we go forward, we want to go forward with grace and with protection. And you're going to have those things. Just be careful not to slide backwards, which is good. And then the Justice card here, I'm going to show you this a little bit more up close. There we go. So this Justice card here is quite balanced. There's, you know, having a knowledge and being able to know when to bite your tongue, having the wisdom to know what fights to fight. You've kind of come into your own here, and I think it's going to be really great for you to figure out what that means for you in the long run. And then we have temptation. So if you look at this temptation card, I feel like you're just exhausted with all the things that you've been tempted by in the past. And I think that that's where you're coming from. And the temptation for you has changed. Like, there's an evolution of who you are and who you're becoming. And this evolution is making it really easy for you to move on and not worry about the material items. So if for you, something about this last couple months has been about a lack thereof, protecting the self because of numerous reasons, this temptation might be a good thing, but be careful not to have everything fall around you and it become an addiction. Again, you're going forward really beautifully. You're going to have a wonderful relationship coming in that's going to really make your life shine if you look at the Sun card. And I think that is going to be a really beautiful month for you. It's going to be a little eye-opening for you. And you'll realize that you had more power all along than you thought you did. Great. Have a wonderful month.